Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Yesterday I said that when you, or was it the day before yesterday, but anyway, I made a video in which I said that once you cast out the spirit of fear, people will change how they treat you. I'm not going to repeat what I said in that video, but I want to add something to it. Once you cast out the spirit of fear, which means that you also have to cast out the spirits of violence, spirits of poverty, you have to upgrade how you relate to other people. You have to upgrade how you relate to circumstances. Why? Just think about it. That spirit of fear, those demons of fear, violence, all of that acts to you. Why? Because you had a way of thinking that was not in line with Christ. That means based on that way of thinking, you relate to people and to circumstances. That dualistic way of relating to stuff, you need to outgrow it. Because it's that way of thinking that attracted those demons in the first place. It's that way of thinking that enabled demons to use you in the first place. It's that way of thinking that enabled others to victimize you to begin with. Now, don't get me wrong. If someone is a little kid, they can be victimized, okay? And the kid is not the kid's fault. Even as an adult, things can happen that you didn't cause, you didn't allow. Bad stuff happen, okay? It happens, okay? But you remaining with a wrong way of thinking, by doing that you agree with bad stuff happening. And you attract bad stuff happening to you. You attract tragedy onto you. So realize this. Just exorcising demons is not the answer. When you go to many deliverance ministries out there, they exorcise demons. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to be delivered, deliverance is an inside job. You ought to renew your mind. You ought to relate differently to other people and to circumstances. A lot of folks, they want to be blessed. They say they're Christ-like, but they keep relating the same self-centered, self-gratifying way to other people. People that are important to them, people that are not important to them, but likes and dislikes. Even when it comes down to marriage, they relate to others based upon how the world teaches you to relate to people. And even worldly people admit that there's something wrong with how worldly people relate to one another. Whether it's in sexual relationships or in business or in all other fields. Even worldly people, unbelievers acknowledge that something is wrong. Yet you have believers that don't want to evaluate how they relate to stuff. Look, it doesn't matter how many demons you cast out. It doesn't matter how good you are in commanding demons to go. If you don't upgrade the way you think, if your mind does not line up with Christ, you're still operating in darkness. And you don't have to have evil intentions. Okay, not everyone that operates in darkness has evil intentions, but it's still darkness. That means that demons still have access to you. And because it's darkness, you won't be able to process things the right way. When you operate in darkness, you will notice facts. And you can act upon facts. And things may work when you act upon facts. And because things work out, you think you're all right. You're not. You're in darkness. So please, don't just focus on casting out devils. Yes, you should cast them out. And when you notice things are changing because you cast them out, you realize now you need to continue. Now you need to be renewed in your mind so that they can never re-enter. I'm not saying that casting out devils is useless. It's very important. It's of primary importance to cast out evil spirits. That's true. But in order to be delivered from demonic strongholds, you ought to renew your mind. Because or else you have to cast them out from time to time. Because in the world people have relief. When you go to a deliverance ministry that puts an emphasis only on exorcism but not on real deliverance, you get a relief for a while. It can be that you had people around you that couldn't stand you, people who were upset with you after all at a job, and people were talking bad about you, and now those victimization spirits are cast out. Now people treat you differently. But here's the thing. Those other people that treat you badly, they still have their negative thinking. And even though you had the victimization spirit with you, they still had their negative. And it's because they had that negative energy that that demon could draw that energy in your direction. And here's the thing. Even if you didn't know you had a victimization spirit, they shouldn't be in the negative. They shouldn't have the right to think how and will whatever they will and think however they think. They want to think. No. When in the world, in the paranormal, you get the relief. So that demon is cast out. But now you still have to face all the other consequences and learn how to deal with stuff. No. Once you cast the unclean spirits out, you walk by faith and you overcome. For example, let's say that you're unemployed for almost a year due to some demonic tension, and a lot of people cooperated with you being unemployed. Now that you are cast the devil out, now you decree abundance upon yourself, and now even if people don't want to take you at a job, you may have your own business, or you may have a share in a company soon, and now you don't even need to have a job. I'm saying maybe that's happening. But if you only focus on casting out the devil is cast out, but now you still have to deal with the consequence of what happened. No, you overcome and overrule what has happened by walking by faith. A lot of people are relief-centered, just want to get away from stuff. No, learn to overrule and trample upon stuff that are haunting you. That's what I'm saying here. Me, I've cast out the devils of sickness, of loneliness, of frustration. I cast all of them out years ago, in my teenage years. But I also decreed biblical abundance upon myself, and I kept going in it. And let me tell you, I've encountered a lot of resistance, a lot of persecution. I've encountered a lot of people that if they had the chance, if I didn't have a supernatural cover, they would attack me or even kill me or go very far. Yes, I've encountered such people. Some of those people were so desperate to lick out their rage towards me, their violence towards me, that they desperately tried it, even though they realized they couldn't do it, they just wanted to try it. I encountered such people. You know what? I keep on walking by faith. I agree with Christ. I didn't say the cast on devils is useless. It's very important. But what's more important is that you renew your mind and you walk in the supernatural. If you are relieved from evil spirits, you are relieved. But you're not safe because you're still dealing with the tensions that other people have. For example, if you had a lot of people that agreed against you, now that you walk by faith, you overcome and trample their will. They can't come with excuses. They have their free will, they have their opinion about you, just made up their mind. If they're in the negative, they are in the negative, and they ought to be dealt with. So it can be that some people can't stand you, but now they are forced to help you, to work, so things are working out for you. Because if they keep willing against you, in their personal lives, in their homes, wherever they are, consequences are following them. And they will never tell you the consequences are haunting them, because they know if they will tell you that, you will realize, whoa, faith works. So you will be empowered to continue to do it. They don't want that to happen. But they also want to be haunted, so they will work in your advantage, whether they will it or not. They will. You got what I'm saying here? That's what it means to be delivered. Some of you, if you begin to walk by faith, you will realize how people will stop willing whatever they will. That whole attitude of their will, their opinion, their privacy, blah blah, it will all, they'll drop it, because they realize with you that it's not going to happen. Look, I can continue for long in this video, but just understand this. Update how you relate to stuff. Relate to stuff in a Christ-like manner. And many of you are not Christ-like in your thinking. Despite that you're going to church, despite that you're reading the Bible, despite that you're against homosexuality or against this or against that. If you're not in agreement with Christ, then you can't operate in supernatural. And if you can't operate in the supernatural, that means that you can only receive paranormal aid. And demons are willing to provide a paranormal aid to you, but do you want that? Do you want that? Or do you want to just have to deal with whatever people will and make the best of it? No. You're meant to overcome in Christ. So agree with him. Be at peace.